World Rugby jerseys will have changed a lot over the years. Different colours, different designs.
The man who gets the honour of being the referee, Nigel Owens of Wales, giving a spin to the cup final coin.
Not many referees get the privilege and honour of actually refereeing a World Cup final. This is the Bloodgate match, and this is actually the match ball. There's no blood on it, because there wasn't really any blood, was there? This is the jersey in the Christopher moment. So yeah, these little things are something special to remember. Hi there, I'm Nigel Owens, and this is my Jersey Tales. A little bit different to the players, but this is how it works. Now, referees' jerseys tend to be quite bright in colour. It used to be you only had two colours, yellow and usually green. So when I went to referee my first game at 17 years, well, my first Llanelli District senior game at about 16, 17 years of age, the only jersey I had, I bought a Australian rugby jersey and put the Welsh Society Rugby Union referee's badge on it. So I only had a yellow and then a green jersey and did a plain green jersey and did the same. This is all you had, and you bought them yourself. And I went to referee Trimsara and were playing Betus up in the Amma Valley. And Betus were in yellow and black, I think they were, and Trimsaran were in green. And the only jerseys I had was yellow and green. So what did I do then? Well, in Betus Rugby Club, there was a player there who had played for Wales under 21s and Wales Youth, and he played prop. And in the clubhouse, in the cabinet, very similar to your in Pontypridd Rugby Club, was his Welsh jersey. So they got the jersey out of the cabinet, and I wore his jersey to referee the game, because otherwise there'd be a player clash. So I'm going to get my jersey for you now. Now, I haven't got the jersey that I started refereeing with 34 years ago. The Moths have had it. But I'm going to get you my jersey that when I refereed my first test match out in Japan, which was Ireland against Osaka. This is one of the jerseys of the players. And they all signed it for me after the game back in 2005. So yeah, these little things are something special to remember. And this is the 2015 jersey of the World Cup. This is my favourite World Cup, of course, because I refereed the final. Now the final jersey is up there on display here in Pontypridd Rugby Club. And I've signed it, and Wayne Barnes and Jerome Gassez, who were my two assistant referees that day as well. And my rugby boots from the World Cup final are there as well, and you will see it says on them New Zealand against Australia World Cup final. Obviously something very, very special.
It is the 8th Rugby World Cup final, and Nigel Owens will referee.
Not many referees get the privilege and honour of actually refereeing a World Cup final, so it really was. And just not because of refereeing the World Cup final, it's because it meant to my family, my dad, and the community of Moneykerrigan here in Pontypridd as well, what it actually meant to them. That's what made it so special. Another jersey as well, in the corner over there, is my 50th test match when I refereed Ireland against Italy out in Dublin. And that's been signed by Brian O'Driscoll, because it was actually Brian O'Driscoll's last home game for Ireland. He played again for them away in France, I think, when they won the championship that year. But that was his last appearance in Dublin at home. So, and it was my 50th. So that's up there. You'll also see up there as well, when you referee in South Africa, they always look after you very well, and you get, see the touch flags there? So South Africa, Australia, and England has started doing the same. So you can see there in England, Samoa, I was assistant referee in 2017, and then assistant referee then England, Argentina in 2017 as well. So those mementos, and there's some more over there as well then. World Cup final touch flag is over there as well in 2011 when I was on touch. And this is the jersey from that Super Saturday back in 2015, when I refereed England against France in Twickenham, which turned out to be a brilliant game of rugby. England needed to win by so many clear points and score so many tries, so they would be Six Nations champions. And I said after that game that the Six Nations really does need to bring in bonus points. And that's what they've done. And I'd like to think that it has improved some of the games in the Six Nations over recent years. And that game was very special. And that's the jersey from that game. And this is the jersey in the Christopher moment. The Six Nations is obviously something very, very, very special, because I don't think you feel you become an international referee until you referee a Six Nations game, because I think outside the Rugby World Cup, for me the Six Nations is the greatest rugby tournament in the world. And what makes it so special is the fans, because now in the Six Nations, you go to Cardiff when Wales are playing Ireland or England, there'll be, or anybody, there'll be 16, 17,000 away supporting the stadium, and then another 30,000 in the bars and restaurants around the stadium, which make the Six Nations so special. So as a referee, it is something very, very special to be part of. And then obviously, you know, there are a lot of referees who referee in the Six Nations who won't referee in the World Cup. So the World Cup is a different goal, it's a different highlight in your career. But refereeing the Six Nations, that Super Saturday, you know, really sort of showed what the Six Nations is all about. It really was and really is something special. Before I tell you the last two jerseys, these are not jerseys, but I will show you these because they are a little bit special. So this is from the European final in Edinburgh in 2017, which was between Saracens and Clermont, which turned out to be a great final actually. And this was my 100th European game. So I got a cap at home, which has a ERC or ECPR, it was back then. As you can see, a lot of the match balls are up in Pontypridd and Rugby Club here. So final 1009, Leinster, Leicester. So a lot of the balls are up there. But this one is kept at home because this is a bit special for various different reasons. This is the quarter-final, Harlequins against Leinster in the Stoop on April the 12th, 2009. And April the 12th in 2009, in rugby terms, will not be remembered for the fondest of reasons, because this is the Bloodgate match, and this is actually the match ball. There's no blood on it, because there wasn't really any blood, was there? For those who don't know what Bloodgate is, which I'm sure you do. A player can only come back on as a substitution for HIA now, but if you're a front row, you can come back onto the front row, or any other player that's been substituted can only come back on back then for a blood replacement. So Harlequins had taken Nick Evans at outside half off, so they wanted their best kicker on in the last 10-20 minutes to kick a penalty or drop a goal to win the game. And they'd taken Nick Evans off. So they wanted to get him back on. But the only way he could go back on was as a blood replacement. So what they did, not knowing to us at the time, they put a fake blood capsule in Tom Williams's mouth, pretended that he had blood, took him off, and Nick Evans came back on. And obviously after the game there was huge uproar about it, and they investigated and they found out that it was fake blood, and you know, Tom Williams was banned for a period of time. I think the medic was banned for a long time. Dean Richards, the coach, was banned. So it was a very synonymous day and a very sad day really for rugby. So that is the ball. So a lot of lessons were learnt back then, and this is the match ball from that Bloodgate match. These two jerseys, now they didn't play in Italy, played in white that day, but I was given this jersey by the Italian captain and this jersey by the French captain for my 100th test match, which turned out to be my last test match. Coming off that game, I didn't really sort of know, well, is it my last game or not? So there's a bit of a surreal feeling really of not being able to think, that's my last test match, you know, which is a shame, but there we go. So it was a nice little game, and it was nice. The players clapped me off after the game, which was something special. So Baptiste Serine, he was captain for the first time that day for France. So he came into the change room afterwards and thanked me for the game. And he said, Nigel, I'm sorry, I can't give you my jersey because I was captain today, and I may not be captain for France again. So it's something special, so I want to keep it. But I'm giving you, so he gave me his top, his training top, which is a really nice top actually, which I wear quite often, which is probably, I would never wear the jersey, so it was nice. So I sent him out my refereeing jersey then, or one of my refereeing jerseys from the Six Nations, and I sent that out to him, and I wrote a note on it telling him that he's tried to referee many times when I've refereed him, so actually now he's got a jersey that he can wear and become a referee, and he sent me a lovely note back thanking me for the jersey. So that's the camaraderie really. Now, this is World Cup 2019 then, so as you can see the jersey has changed a bit from 2015. And it was a very enjoyable World Cup 2019 was, but that actually was the World Cup where I sort of knew, I was going to pack it up, to be honest, because when I landed in Japan, I remember I had 54 days there, and I remember counting the days, couldn't wait to get home. Not because I didn't enjoy Japan, I didn't enjoy the rugby, I was just now wanted to be home. The first cattle were arriving at the farm when I got back from the World Cup, and I just couldn't wait, and that's when I knew, that's it. The best part of over 20 years travelling in New Zealand for 3 weeks, Australia for 3 or 4 weeks, South Africa for a couple of weeks, it's lovely, I enjoyed it all. But there comes a time where, you just want to be home more, because you miss out a lot of things. You miss out on stag weekends, just little things like that, which people do, normality. Although some of my friends will probably get married again the way they're going. So I may get on another couple of stag do's when they go the second time round. And just, coming up on a bit of a rugby club with my mates, watching my godchildren play, my cousins play, having a few beers afterwards, things that you can't do because you're away so much. So, in Japan, it was, enough for this travelling, because it really does, it's wonderful. And I'm sure a lot of young referees now, young players the same, travelling away, I think it's so exciting, it's brilliant, but there'll come a time where, you just want to be home more, and that's where I want to be now. Thanks for listening to my Jersey Tales, and don't forget to subscribe, like, hit the bell for those notifications.